Hi guys, welcome to Didedi's Crafty Corner. Today we're going to play with this adorable little stamp set from Brutus Monroe called You Are My Sunshine. This is a little stamp. It was under $4 and I've stamped it out 3 times with the leaves going in opposite directions. We're also going to be using this embossing folder from We Are Memory Keepers. It's a basket weave, basket weave texture. That's what I'm trying to say, texture. And I've ran that through my Big Shot, and that's going to be the panel that my little sunflowers are going to sit on top of. I'm going to be trimming down my flowers to just beyond the leaves, like right where the leaves are. So isn't that cute? It stamped out gorgeous. These are some close-ups. So I'm going to be coloring just one of the sunflowers on camera here. And for the sunflower colors, I am using Y11, Y13, Y15, and my darkest color is Y17. And the reason I have all 4 of those colors out is because there's going to be a little bit of difference between the petals on each of our flowers. That way nothing looks identical. So right now I'm going in with my lightest color, which again is Y11, and I'm just putting down my lightest color. I left no white on this one because I didn't want there to be too much white. I thought that lightest yellow would be enough of a light color. So now I'm going in a little with a little bit of the Y13 and just adding just a little bit on top of the other yellow, and then I'm going to go in with really what is going to be my medium tone, which is the Y15, and I'm going to add that going right along the center of the flower and flicking it outwards. And then once I get all that done, and the flicking motion takes me a little bit longer than coloring in the petals, so as you can see I've got a nice gradient color going down, and now I'm going to add that orangey yellow, which in my case is going to be the Y17. Now I'm going to go back over this quite a few times for each one of the petals. So I'm going to flick it down, and then I'm going to go back with my medium color, or the Y15, back to the Y13, which really I could have skipped, and then back down to the 11. So if you're going to try this, I would just really use 3 of the colors. I would either do 11, 15, 17, or I would do 11, or I would do, actually I think if going back, I think I would do 13, 15, 17. But if you really wanted a lighter edge, I would do the 11, 13, 17 maybe. I thought that would be too big of a jump, but really the other 2 flowers I did not use all 4, and you can hardly tell the difference, so you could really leave one of them out. So now I'm going in with that lightest color, and then I'm actually going to come back in and flick a little bit of the darkest color in little sections going around it, and then we're going to start on the middle of my sunflower. So I do sunflowers quite a bit, and sometimes I do them a little oranger, sometimes I do them a little more yellow, but what I never seem to change up is the middle. I really like this brown combination for the middle of my sunflowers, and the browns that I'm using here today are E17, no, E15, E17, and E29, I believe. I'm pretty sure. And I really like that color combo quite a bit. It's dark enough around the edges to give a little bit of contrast, but I like that the lighter color in there as well with it. So pretty much that's the color I grab for anytime I'm doing sunflowers. Now at the end you're going to see how I doctor them up a little bit. So if you notice around the sunflower where it's got the little dots, I'm going to go in right now with the darker, in a minute I think I'm going to do it, but I'm going to go in and I'm going to speckle it, which means I'm going to go in and where those darker areas are on the stamp where it's got the little circles drawn out, I'm going to go in and add a little dot technique on top of those dots. Now it didn't, and the only way I could have got enough contrast was to maybe use a really, like a black, to color in those little circles with black would have given me some contrast. But at this point, I already realized what I would do at the end, so I just kind of went in with it and dotted it in anyway. And I think I wanted to show it to you. I'm hoping I do a close-up here. I think I am. It looks fine. You could get away with just that. But at the end, I'm going to put some glitter on it, and I just think that adds it, just gives it a notch up, right? So for my greens, the greens I'm using YG 61, 63, and a little bit of 67, just to darken up the darkest area of my leaf, which is what is closest to the flower itself. Very small leaves. There's not a lot of green in this, so it didn't take very long to do. But again, I'm starting with my lightest color, which is YG 61, going in with the middle color. No, actually I'm going in with my darkest color. I never do that. And adding that into where I just want it to be the darkest, and I'm doing a little flicking, and I'm doing just a little coloring at this point. And then I will come in with the medium and bring that out, and then I'll go back with the lightest and go from the tip of the leaf in, just to make sure that it's all blended together. Now also on my leaves, I always do a little dot technique, so you'll see that. I just go in with my darkest and lightest colors and just add a little dimension to the leaf. And I do that because in nature, the leaves are not perfectly one-toned. They often look like they have little dots or spots on the leaves. So I think that just adds a little bit of interest to the leaves. So I hope I didn't not boring you guys too much with the coloring, but that's pretty much what most of the audience is asking for. They want to see me color more and also put the cards together, so I'm trying to add that in as we go. Also, I had a question about yesterday's video, not about the video, but about the little teddy bear I did. People wanted to know what happened to my fingernails. I don't often have long fingernails. I don't like long fingernails. I don't like things to get underneath them. It's just grubby to me. So when I have a special occasion, I use the Kiss press-on nails, the acrylic ones, because that's most like the acrylics I used to have when I was working. So I take them off and go back to my normal nails and put them on for special occasions. So here and there you might see them, but more often than not you won't. So that's what happened to the nails. All right, so going back to this, I think I'm almost done. You can see I'm just putting a little bit of dot on there, just a few little dots here and there, and it's really going to make the picture pop at the end. So I'm going to go ahead. There's a close-up. See, it looks fine with just the dots colored in, right? But and it really does look very good there, but you're going to see at the end what I do. So now I've got them all colored out. I've cut it down to the size I want it to be. I want it to go down the middle of my card. And I've also cut down that panel, that basket woven panel that we ran through the die cut machine. And now I'm taking some Distress Oxide inks. I'm using Vintage Photo, and I'll also be using a little bit of walnut. And I'm just adding with the makeup brushes from Amazon, I'm just adding a little bit of brown color to the edges and to the weave part of the basket. I'm not really worrying so much about here. I'm just trying to see if I've gone far enough. I just want to get a little bit of a brown texture to go on this card to go along with that sunflower and the basket idea, right? That's where I got that idea from. So I'm coming in with a darker brown, and on this darker brown I'm just going to bring it in, darken it up just a little bit right around the edges, and then I'm going to take that darker color, what's left on the brush, plus I'll get a little bit extra, and I'm going to go right around the edges of the sunflower panel as well, and then I'm going to soften it up. So I'm going to take it, I think that looks spectacular, but just a little too white, right? So I'm going to take it, and I'm going to take my little brush and the ink that's left on there, and I'm just going to flick it right on the edges to darken up the edges. Now, as I was doing that, I thought, oh, I really like that. So I decided that when I got done flicking it all the way around the edges, that I would go in and really softly blend the color towards the sunflower. I think that turned out to be spectacular. It looks fantastic. I am so happy I did that. And these brushes make it possible to do that without making a mistake. I never could have done that with my round blenders. I never ever could have done that. So, and even with my my softer brushes that I had already, nothing like this one. These work so fantastic. So I'm just going in again and I'm just adding a little more color. I didn't want my white strip with the sunflowers to be stark white, even though my card base is going to remain white and we're going to have that white peeking through. I'm okay with that. I just wanted the sunflower piece and that card. See, doesn't that look good? You can still see the white, but it blends it in with the brown and it makes it all pop. All right, so now moving on, I'm going to take some 3M foam tape and I'm going to apply it to our back panel and get it stuck on, and I'm going to do the same thing for our little sunflowers. I'm going to add just a couple of strips down each side, and then I'm going to place that in the center. Super cute, right? I think it's just a great all occasion or just a note kind of card. So again, I'm going to leave this without a sentiment and add that when I'm ready to send it to someone. So now I'm going to take some art glitter glue. Oh no, I'm going to use that shimmer pen from Nuvo first and add a little bit of shimmer to the middles of our sunflower and to the leaves. Just a little bit on the leaves. I didn't want to overdo the leaves. And I'm going to do all the leaves and then all the middles to the sunflower. Then I'm going to come in and add just a little bit more to where it's the lightest in the sunflower. Perfect. And then I'm going to grab my art glitter glue in the smallest container with the little precision tip on it, and I'm just going to add the dots where the dots already were on that sunflower. So see, I'm just throwing it in there where they were, and then I'm going to take some of this chunky glitter in dark brown and I'm just going to sprinkle it on, and then I'm going to tap it off. And this is one of the things that I love, and this is chunky glitter, guys. One of the things that I absolutely love about this art glitter glue. It stays on where you want it. It falls off where you don't want it. No mess, no gunk, no mess. It's just beautiful. So I decided to do that with all three of them, and now I've got a nice little dark base around my sunflowers that's glittery. I do this technique often in my sunflowers that I do, and I'm just going to sprinkle it on the other two, and then I'm going to tap it off, and it's going to look super cute. Ready? Super cute, right? And then I'm going to grab a glue dot and I'm going to be attaching a little piece of twine that I've already made into a bow right to the middle flower. Here we go. And that's actually going to complete this card. I thought it turned out super cute, very easy. You just have to do some coloring, and I think this would make a great, like I said, just a note type of card. Here are the close-ups. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you very soon in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.